Hi everybody, I am here today to share with you my brand new Graphic 45 Flutter mini album. Now this uses the new Keepsake collection and it features my chipboard cover with these butterflies. Now if you purchase the cover, it will either come in black or white, and these butterflies will be black or white as well. So I've used markers to color my butterflies, and then I've added some black marker on the outside and on the inside to give them more detail. This album will come as part of a pre-cut mini album kit if you choose to purchase that option. There are only a couple available, so you can go ahead and click on the link in the description box below to purchase that. And then in a couple of days from this video being released, I will also have a PDF mini album tutorial that will have the cutting guide, the page cutting map, so you can cut the paper exactly how I cut my paper, and also the assembly guide that is in my pre-cut kit. Then you could purchase the album cover if you wanted to use the album cover as well. So all that will be linked in the description box below. In addition to the written tutorial, there is a video tutorial showing how to build the interactive elements, the slide features, and the pop-ups only, not for the rest of the basic build of the album, just those interactive features to help because they're a little bit more complicated, not quite as beginner friendly as some of the other elements in the album, and just to help if you are planning on buying the tutorial. This album measures 8 inches by 8 3/8 of an inch. It has a 2 3/4 inch spine. There are 4 pocket pages on the inside, and as you can see on the cover, I've got a lot of dimension here. So these pieces are popped up here and here, and then these ones as well, just to give it a little bit of dimension. The spine is flat, and we just have this paper here on the back side, and then this spine as well. This is held together with 2 magnets here to keep this album closed. Now starting with the inside is just a simple pocket here that has room for a photo mat. You could add additional photo mats if you choose to do so. Now this is matted to hold about 56 photos. You could fit more photos because I don't always count photo spots on both sides of waterfall flaps and things like that. You could add additional photo mats as well to add more, and that also does not include the space on the large photo inserts in the pockets, so we'll come to those in just a moment. On this front page here, all of the pages are interactive in some way. They have slide outs or pop-up features, a little bit different than some of the things in my previous albums. So this is popped up here. This acts as a little pull tab to help you to slide this piece up. So there's room for a photo here. So it's a little hidden photo spot. And then this will not go down any further than that, so it doesn't slide down. So that photo is hidden. Then this is magnetized here. So that's why this butterfly is here. So you know to pull this open. Room for 2 photos here. And then this is open so that photo can slide behind either of those. Then we have a photo mat here in the pocket, room for 2 photos, or you could keep one side the decorative paper and a photo here. You could also place a photo here, or you could add additional photo mats if you needed more photo space. Now in each of the 4 pocket pages, there is a large photo mat, and this is where I've used the bug paper. I struggled to use this paper. I'm not a fan of bugs, but I did use it, so it's on the photo mats. And I've only covered the front of the photo mat, so the backs are plain. You could journal on here, you could put photos on here. There is some paper left over that you could piece these together if you wanted to. You could take this and you could cut this and you could put one here and then piece some of the papers if you wanted to completely cover your entire photo mats. Now on the back side of the page, this is a swing tab, and then this flips up. So we have room for a photo here. Then this flips down, and then I have one of the cut aparts here, and I didn't back this onto anything because there aren't any journaling cards in the collection. So I wanted to be able to have some journaling spots. If you wanted to have this as a photo mat, you could put a photo on here, or you could back this with black cardstock. Then in the center of the page, we have room for 2 photos here, and then this actually slides to the side, and then there's room for a photo in here. On the front of page 2, we're going to start behind the waterfall. We've got a photo mat here for a 4x6 photo, so the photo will slide up underneath of this. Room for a photo on the back side as well. And then on the page, we have our waterfall feature, but this is a sliding waterfall. It is magnetized here. This does not have to have a magnetic closure, but I did add one because someone had asked me when I did my tutorial for this type of waterfall how you would place a magnet on it. And so this is my solution to that. If you wanted to add a magnet, I have a magnet here, and you could have done this in paper as well instead of ribbon, but I'm going to show you how this works. You just pull on this, and all these flaps are going to flip until you come to the back side. You could place a photo here. I personally would not place photos on the fronts of these flaps because you would see them unless you had smaller photos here, but that's just me and my preference. So these are not counted in those 56 photo spots. Then if I just press this in, it will close. You don't have to actually have this on it. So if you didn't have this ribbon, you could just pull on this, and this whole feature still slides. Now in the pocket of the page, we have another photo mat. I used the back side of the bug paper, and again, the back side is completely uncovered. Starting with the back side of page 2, I'm going to pull this out of the back of the page. It is a photo booklet, room for 2 or 3 photos, depending if you want to put one on that back side. And this just tucks behind this feature, and this has a journaling card here in the front. So that's where the actual dimensional piece is. It's on that. Again, I didn't add anything to the back. So you could journal on the front, you could journal on the back, or place a photo on there, and it just tucks right down in there. And then this, it's not actually a pull this way, it's just, it flips this way, and these slide. So we have 2 photo spots up here and then 2 here. You could place something there if you wanted to, but I personally would just leave it so you could see the paper, and then you'd have your 4 photos there. On the front of page 3, this is a magnetized closure. It flips down, and then this will flip this way for 2 photos, and then it pulls out this way for 2 photos. Then this whole page flips up, and it is a pop-up. So I will show you the pop-up section in just a second. There is room for a photo on this page. And then here is the pop-up feature. I hope you can see it has dimension. So it's got a pop-up with a pocket. And then behind that, there is a photo spot back here for a 4x3 wallet size photo. But then in here, we have this pocket, and I have a photo mat or a journaling card, and then I just tuck this as a journaling card as well. So we'd have a journaling card, and then I intend this as a photo mat. Put it this way so it can be seen in the pocket. And then these pieces, hopefully you can see, these pieces are kind of floating, so it looks like they are layered, so there are layers to the design. Then there is a photo mat here in the pocket, and it is the second half of the yellow bug paper, just plain black on the back side. For the back side of page 3, we're going to start with the pocket on the page. I just have the ephemera piece here on the front side, and then a piece of the decorative paper on the back side, so room for a photo there. And then this feature, this is, again, dimensional. This is a magnetized closure. It holds this page closed. So this one, it will open this way, and then it will open again. So there's room for 8 sets of photos. I personally would not put a photo here, and I would just put 3 here, and I would put 3 photos here and leave this. But if you really wanted photo space, you could cover those up as well. And this is just held together with that magnetic closure. On the front of page 4, this is a swivel mechanism. So it's held together with this magnetized closure. And you'll see it will swivel this way, but it's intended to first open up this way for portrait style photos. And then you turn it this way, and it will open up in this direction for landscape style photos. Now, if you only had portrait style photos and you wanted to do like this, you could have 4 portrait style photos. If you had landscape photos only, you could turn this after that's open and you could use this, but these would be the wrong direction. So if you're making your album, you would want to make sure that you put these in the orientation that you're going to be using your photos. And that just stays closed with that. And then there is another magnet here, and this whole page opens like this. Now this piece doesn't slide as easily as I'd hoped it would, so you kind of have to help it sit in the middle of the page. And there are 4 wallet-sized photo spots here. Just these little teeny tiny pieces here are not long enough. It should have been a full part of the page to help it to move, I think. But again, I think this is a card technique that I wanted to incorporate into a mini album, and I think it's cute still. You get the point whenever you have the page like this, you have that dimension so you can see it like that. And then we have our final large photo mat. It has the back side of the bug paper, and then the back side is plain. On the back side of page 4, we have a pocket behind the feature that has another one of the journaling cards, and then I just have paper here for you to put a photo on the back side. Then this is another magnetized closure here, and then this flips open like this. So we've got room for a photo here and here, a photo in the middle, and then room here for a photo here and here. And then here you could place another photo there. So that's a pop-up feature with lots of photo space. Then on the back cover here, we just have one photo mat that you could put 2 photos on. You could add additional photos, and you could add photos to the base of the book if you choose to do so. So this is my Graphic 45 Flutter mini album. Like I mentioned previously, this album is available as a kit, but there are only, I believe there might be 3 or 4 of them left at this point. If you want the pre-cut kit, then you can purchase that. But if you have the paper already and you wanted to just make this album, in a couple of days, I will release probably a short video and have the link for that. I will also list it in this one as well once it is available, but I will have the full tutorial available. It's not 100 or so pages like some of my other tutorials. It will be the assembly guide that I have for the kit, plus my cutting page maps that show you exactly how to cut each piece of the paper, and then you will use the instructions to piece everything together. Now, if you are interested in purchasing this completed album, I will also be listing this album for sale, so you can just purchase this, print off your photos, and then add them to the book. One thing I will say, if you are purchasing this album here, as I was making this, unfortunately, this piece of paper here is upside down. You can't really notice it because on some of the papers, things like the dragonflies, they're flying in every different direction. Very subtly, you will see down here in the paper, if you look really closely, it says bloom and grow, and that is upside down. So that is the one mistake that I recognized after I put it down and could not remove it. So unfortunately, that will be staying there like that. But I don't think it's very noticeable. I don't think most people would even notice it that it was upside down. But if you are potentially looking to buy the album, I just wanted to disclose that to make sure that you are aware of that. All of this stuff will be linked in the description box below. Feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what you think of the album as well. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.